Nick-Coit, Ian-Steele with you from the practice fields in Foxborough. Patriots starting week 3 of training camp, and this is actually the first week of the preseason, so we're here to talk about that and other things on our still to-be-decided name of our ABC6 Sports
the
podcast.
ABC6 Sports Podcast.
Yes, that is.
Presented by
ABC6 Sports.
That's how it goes, yeah.
It's like Ricky Bobby at the end of Talladega Nights.
Yep.
He gets rid of all the sponsors. It's just me on the hood. Because it's just you out there, Ricky.
So I just had a
I'm the
panic
movie
moment
reference guy.
because this is kind of how we operate when we do our own camera work. Did you set your microphone to microphone and not line?
No, I set it to microphone.
So we're good.
Yeah, we're good.
So you don't sound like
Yeah.
a muffled mess.
No, I don't. I promise.
So our production quality is going to be A-okay.
We're going to be fine.
All right.
I looked at it. I promise.
See, this is my brain. I'm like, you're talking, and I'm thinking about something completely different.
Totally fine. That's how it goes.
That's right. So, Ricky Bobby, I don't know what to do with my hands, and we don't know what to do with microphones. Let's talk some Patriots football. You were out on the field today, taking everything in.
Yep.
It's the start of week 3 after the in-stadium practice, which did not go well for the first-team offense, at least. Drake May turning the ball over. Ramondre Stevenson with a fumble. Kendrick Bourne gets hurt. Kind of a rough way to end the week.
Right.
How did they look day 1, week 3?
Yeah, I think there were times where there was probably some struggles again, but I think this is the way that this camp has gone for the Patriots. Is I think the offense has its moments, and I think the defense has its moments. It's been very competitive, I'd say, both sides. But there's certain guys that you're looking at and you're saying, okay, this guy's going to help. And I think that was the standout here on this day was a rookie in Travion Henderson.
Yeah.
I think the kid is dynamite. I think he stood out in OTAs just for his speed alone. But now it seems like he is around the football and ready to make plays for this offense right away. He's taking reps with, meaningful guys in the offense. And he stands out to me, but I think with Drake, that's going to be a nice target for him to have.
Yeah.
I think it still stands out that Stephon Diggs is a guy that can, I said to Ian today, I think he's going to run a million, outs to the sideline.
Yep.
3rd and 5, that's going to be a go-to play for Drake and for Stephon. But there were times, there were some struggles. Like they had an 11-on-11 toward the end of practice, and the defense was, pretty good and sort of stalled things. They were running the clock. It was sort of a 2-minute offense.
2-minute drill, yeah.
And Drake was bailed out by a great catch by Kayshon Boutte.
Yes.
I think it was a catch. I think
It was a catch. It was a touchdown.
they waved it, or somebody who was refereeing or whatever.
John Stryker, basically
Yeah,
Mike Vrabel's right-hand man, said it was a touchdown. He was the guy who did the scoring for the in-stadium practice.
Right.
So if Stretch says it's a TD, it's a TD. So great play by Kayshon Boutte, and he kind of went out to get it, toe-tapped it, contact, contested catch, and ever since I was talking to you about this, but once Drake May took over the offense, Kayshon Boutte's stock really rose.
Yeah.
There's clear chemistry from them from last year carrying on into this year. And
Amen.
to your point with Travion Henderson, after Ramondre Stevenson fumbled and continues to have fumbling issues, you draft a player in the 2nd round so high, Travion Henderson's going to factor into this offense if he can stay healthy. And he's made a lot of plays in the passing game and not just as a check down kind of guy. He is a real threat at receiver for the Patriots, and he's stuck out to me today as well. Efton Chisholm with a bounce back day too for me.
Henderson to me is one of those guys that you could see it on tape out of Ohio State. Like when he gets space, it I don't want to overdo it here, but you remember playing NFL Blitz on PlayStation?
Yes.
And you'd get the turbo mode?
I remember turbo mode,
Turbo
absolutely.
mode,
I remember it more in the arcade.
Okay.
And actually, I was at my buddy's bachelor party. We went to, what is it? The place in Providence.
Dave & Buster's.
Free Play. No,
D&B.
Free Play.
Oh, Free Play.
Dave & Buster's is like the mainstream arcade. You're a big Dave & Buster's guy.
Big
Free
guy, yeah.
Free Play.
Wings on Thursday nights?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's good.
So
50
we were
cents.
at Free Play for a bachelor party, played some NFL Blitz, just Drew Bledsoe back there. It was it was the 96 version. It was awesome. So you think Travion Henderson is
when he gets
NFL
space,
Blitz turbo mode?
When he gets space, you can see it.
I can't relate. I've never had turbo mode in my life. I'm terrible at every video game I've ever played.
Yeah, you might be slower than me, which is saying something.
That's true.
Yeah, but he just, when he gets that burst is the point and gets space, I think they're going to try to get him that kind of space in the offense. And so, yeah, he stands out in that way. The other thing you're talking about, Ramondre Stevenson, and I thought it was really interesting to hear Mike Vrabel today, again, sort of double down on what he said earlier, in the spring, which was It's not just Ramondre. When you look back at some of the fumbling issues he had last year, it's the other 10 guys on the field, and he doubled down on it today. He was like, no, well, we're in camp here. Okay, sure. Something might happen where he puts the ball on the ground, but what happened to the guy who was supposed to block on the other side or his blind side and he can't see him coming, whatever.
Why was he a free runner?
Which I think is the right mentality to have as a coach, is to get everybody together. I get it. You have the football, so a lot of it falls on you, but I just thought it was really interesting that he doubled down on it today.
But it's also kind of a playing psychologist, so to speak.
Yeah, sure.
Like, fumbling
100%.
is probably a confidence issue as much as it is a physical holding on to the football thing. Like, if you drop the ball once and you're afraid to do it, you get the yips a little bit. Mm-hmm. And Mike Vrabel possibly trying to make sure Ramondre Stevenson avoids that by spreading it out to the entire team.
That's Vrabel, and I think he has those roles down because he's done it before in Tennessee. So it was just interesting to see that again. Some special guests at training camp on Monday. Saw Robert Kraft walk out here to a big cheer from a couple of the guys in the crowd over here. Julian Edelman, who's going to be the Hall of Famer this year, the team Hall of Famer, he was here. There's probably going to be a Bussin' with the Boys podcast coming out.
Saw some Barstool fellas walking around here. It was podcast day at Pat's
day.
camp. I think they opened the doors to the new media friends and brought them in. And Julian Edelman was out here. He did autographs for some of the fans around here, so they were all excited to see him and just to have him back around. I wonder the differences between his training camps here and the training camp that's going on right now. Probably a lot of similarities, I think, in terms of just, the grind of it, but just the structure and what they're learning and how they're doing. And Edelman, I remember in Forge and Foxborough, he and Kyle Williams have kind of taken to each other. And, Kyle Williams goes to him for advice, and Edelman's kind of telling him how to be a pro in this league. They're mowing the grass behind us to make sure this is a pristine.
Oh, they're doing they're doing the spraying. That's what they're doing.
Was it bug spray
chemicals.
Or is it paint?
It's chemicals. It's like helps the grass. Only reason I know this is because I worked at a golf course for 3 summers, and my boss used to do this.
You would mow the greens.
Yeah. So I've seen this.
You do. So you're the reason why the pin placements were so difficult.
Yes, correct.
It was your fault.
Yeah, it was my fault.
So
that was one of the first jobs they give you is cup changing in the morning.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Those poor kids.
I know. I got to talk to
them.
So
they see people walking out. They're like, I can't believe they moved the pin over here, and you're like,
all right,
that was me.
All right, so this is a podcast, so I can tell a story here.
Yes.
So one of I think it was either the first or the second summer, I worked at Crosswinds in Plymouth, and I did cup changing, whatever. And in the mornings, you had 3 categories of flags, front, middle, and back of the green.
Yep.
Red, white, and blue flags. So you change the flags, change the cup, whatever. So number 6, I think it's the Jones course at Crosswinds. It's a green that's like front, slope, and then back. So putting a middle pin is really tough.
Yeah.
You can't put it too close. You have to kind of cheat to the back or cheat to the front. I put one like right near the hill. So my boss calls me middle of the day and he goes, "Hey Nick, come on over. I got to show you something." And you knew when my boss Brian would call, you're like, and he has to show you something, it means you did something wrong.
Yeah.
So we go to number 6 and he explains to me, "Hey, it's a little too close to the slope, whatever. So we're gonna change it, whatever. We'll wait for this group to come through." Okay. I kid you not. Guy steps up to the tee. 2 bounces in the cup. In the cup.
He aced your hole.
He aced the hole.
That's unbelievable.
And so we cheer. We put our arms up behind. We're like, oh my God, the guys on the tee are celebrating, whatever. So then my boss, Brian, looks at me, looks at the hole again, looks at me, goes, "Get back to work."
We're not changing it.
Get out of here.
Oh, that guy saved your bacon big time.
It was awesome.
Oh, that's
one
unbelievable.
One of my favorite memories on a golf course was that. So yeah, I did cup changing.
Okay,
yeah.
Nice. Wow, that's unbelievable.
I know. I know.
And then you were able to go home for the rest of the day.
And I was fine. Yep, I was all good.
That's
he trusted
awesome.
me after that.
Wow.
Yep.
What a job.
I don't know how
Great
you follow
summer
that
job.
story up, right?
No, big time.
So
I don't know how we got there.
The Commanders come in this week. Practice on Wednesday, the joint practice, and then of course Friday. Anything you're looking forward to seeing, Ian?
Well, just one more note from today.
Yeah.
Just the Patriots defense in the secondary is getting a little thin. Christian
You're right,
Gonzalez remains out. Carlton Davis was out here but not fully participating, and he really hasn't been all summer. So you're starting corners going into this we're gonna see the early depth test for this Patriots team will come in the secondary, and especially against Washington with Jaden Daniels, an impressive young quarterback who can distribute the ball all over the field. We're gonna see how the likes of DJ James and Alex Austin and Marcus Jones, who's a veteran and plays in the slot a lot, but how they do against this high-powered Washington offense coming in this week, I'm very interested to see how they hold up because, in the NFL season, guys are going to go down. You're going to need guys to step up. And early on for the Patriots, without Gonzalez and Davis, two guys who you really need on this defense in the back end. Gonzalez is your best player, period. And he's sitting out with what seems to be nothing major. He's still out here walking around and kind of participating as much as he can. But, with him and Davis out, Davis, a free agent you brought in, interested to see how the secondary holds up, especially, and they're young at safety as well. So we're going to see how that goes.
Yeah, and it's a great thing to point out, particularly if you're going to have, some competition here with the joint practices. So, these young guys, they'll be tested. But there's opportunity there. That's the thing about camp is that you get thin at one spot. There's opportunity, guys step forward.
Marcellus Dial went down today with an injury. He had to be carted off. Did not look good. Don't want to speculate. Haven't heard anything too crazy. But that's a guy who's been around here for a couple of years who knows the system, is stuck around in the NFL. And it's another guy that you're down right now, too. He was competing to play with the top offense a little bit. So Dial's down. Gonzalez is down. Davis is down. DJ James is up. Alex Austin's up, and Marcus Jones holding it down for corners right now.
Something to monitor here going forward. By the way, your timer's going off. I can hear that in your.
See, I set the timer.
I can hear
to make sure that we stayed on time.
But that's all right.
And I blow right through my own timer.
That's fine.
So
that's what it is.
That's how it goes.
Yeah.
So that's the Pats talk that I had planned.
That's great.
Within
all
that
good.
10-minute segment that
all
was
good.
Perfectly timed.
All good. So yeah, we'll be watching that. We'll have you covered here with the Commanders joint
We're
practice
doing great.
and the preseason. Obviously, the other hot topic around here is the Red Sox and what happened this weekend with the local baseball team. And it's mixed emotions for me, Ian, because you look at the team and I felt like they were likable. I said to you the last time we talked that even after the trade deadline, I thought they still had a chance to make the postseason. I think they had enough. I liked their upside, whatever. The thing that was most disappointing, that even after a sweep of the Astros is still disappointing, is that I don't think Craig Breslow in the front office did enough to raise the ceiling of this team. And I'm not knocking the team because the team is playing well.
What a Debbie Downer you are.
Nope, I'm just being real.
They just sweep the Astros and you're like, low ceiling.
I still think that they can make some noise. But imagine if they get into the post. First of all, if you get into the postseason, can Giolito and Bayo keep up what they've been keeping up? Crochet's innings limit. The back of their
rotation is playing
the front of
out
their rotation. Crochet has an in. Like he is going to by far and away exceed his innings. The career high. And so how does that all hold up? And I didn't really feel like it took much to really try to improve the team. And so that's why I look at this team this weekend. And if I was one of the players, I'd be like, dude. It would have been nice to get like a little bit of help. Didn't have to be Joe Ryan, but but they're playing really well, and that's the part that's like, because they
did the Red Sox sweep the Astros, or did the Astros play terrible baseball for 3 days and the Red Sox just capitalized?
Red Sox swept them. Red Sox swept them. Yes, they did. Giolito was lights out in his start.
He was good.
He was really good. I think the offense was stringing together like. The turnaround from Trevor Story offensively is unbelievable. We were talking about DFA at the end of May. That's how bad it was.
That's a great point.
That's how bad it was.
Seems like forever ago.
So,
now.
I don't know, I don't know what his average, I don't have the numbers offhand, is up to. He's almost got 20 home runs if he hasn't hit that yet. It was brutal. Yeah. Brutal. And somebody said on social media, and I laughed, they were like, interesting to see that Trevor Story is following the John Lackey of his Red Sox, career sort of timeline, because Lackey struggled in the beginning. And all of a sudden he was one of these heroes of 2013, whatever. Took him a couple of years. Same with Story, and it was obviously the injuries, but the beginning of this year was just brutal. And now, not only offensively, but he is dazzling defensively, like such a leader on the field.
The arm looks good.
Yeah. Some of the things that they did this week. I mean, the Red Sox won that series when love Abraham Toro, love you guy. When Abraham Toro's hitting bombs, that means you're winning baseball games. You're getting offense, and so
poor Framber Valdez is still looking for that bunt.
I know.
I know. They had him dizzied out there.
Yeah.
For me with the Red Sox, it's funny. You always hear like they don't believe in us. Let's go win one for the Gipper. Rally around. We have all we need right here. And the Red Sox don't say that outwardly. Not in their clubhouse interviews. You don't hear Alex Cora really say that, but the way that they play right now seems inspired.
Absolutely.
It seems like they feel like, or it seems they're playing like they don't need anything else. All they have is within that clubhouse, and they've galvanized around each other. Now, there's not really a rah-rah guy in there. If it is, it's Alex Bregman, and he doesn't like...
Not rah-rah.
He's not like a loud... He's not like David Ortiz, like, this is our city, like, he's not like John Lackey, who would tell you exactly what he felt whenever he felt it. So, like, this team just kind of plays like exactly like Craig Breslow kind of ran it, where they feel like they have all they need within the clubhouse, and they're doing the best that they possibly can with what they have.
Yeah.
So they're not outwardly saying it. They're not like, I remember, there was years past, like when Rafael Devers was here, he would be like, the GM needs to go out and get us some pitching, for crying out loud. And at least he said it because it was the truth, and it's what everyone else was thinking. I haven't heard that from this team. Maybe you have. I haven't really read seen anything, but like the way that they play is galvanized. Like they play so well together. The chemistry there is good. They have veteran leadership, trickles down to the stud rookies that they have. The thing with me is like the pitching staff is really starting to take lumps. Like and I said on the news last night, like another piece of adversity over the weekend. Like Tanner Houck shut down. And then Liam Hendriks shut down. Not that you were expecting much from them at this point, but just like hearing that and knowing they're not coming back, not even for October, if that comes, they get dealt blow after blow after blow, and literally all they do after that is win baseball games.
And I love it. I love that. And that's why I think everybody is, has mixed emotions after the weekend, because you feel like this team deserved to get like a big splash or a name or something, like just a little bit of help. And I guess you're getting a little bit of help with Matz and with May, but it just seemed like there could have been a little bit more.
Very interested to see how Dustin May looks.
Yeah,
very interested.
I am too now. I am too. And if he can help, the back end of the rotation.
Is he today or Tuesday?
He's Wednesday.
Wednesday. They moved
it's
everything
Bayo,
around.
It's Crochet, and it's May for the Royals.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right.
So it'll be interesting to see. Hopefully, if he can give them something.
They're giving him a lot of time to settle in. I wonder if he's in the pitching lab.
Well, yeah,
with Andrew Bailey.
I just don't think they wanted to. They're letting the rotation go as it goes, and they keep pushing Crochet back, and now Crochet's Tuesday, which is smart.
That's concerning.
Smart. I know. Of course it is. That's why you add. Craig. Come on now. But I love the galvanization.
I'm impressed by the clubhouse.
Me too.
I'm impressed by the players.
What's impressive?
Like those poor guys could use a life vest, and they're just swimming along.
Of course. And you mentioned Alex Bregman. I think part of the galvanization of this team is the fact that Bregman is an instant leader in the clubhouse, but the guys that have come onto the roster, particularly the younger guys, Anthony, Meyer.
Anthony has been so good.
He's unbelievable. I said it this morning. I did a radio hit with my buddy Brian Sullivan up in Bangor, and I said the first couple of weeks was like Terminator, being like programmed, because he'd like strike out a lot, but you could see like he's scanning what pitch they are throwing, and then all of a sudden, like every night, 2 hits, 3 hits, 2 hits, 3 hits, walk, 2 walks. He gets on
put
base.
The numbers up, and
now
it's coming at big times.
The most brilliant move that Alex Cora has made this season so far,
moving him up,
was putting him at leadoff.
Yeah.
Yes, keep him there. It works.
It does.
The kid gets on
and
base.
moving Duran down, now he's back up.
Yeah, all of a sudden, Jaron Duran is the second coming of Ken Griffey Jr. Like it's
we didn't really touch on Duran at the. He's Ken Griffey Jr.
Yeah, that was.
I almost blew right by that.
I know you did.
Nick-Coit thinks.
Jaron Duran.
Talk about clickbait.
Jaron Duran.
Jaron Duran is Ken Griffey Jr. Nick-Coit.
Yeah, right.
We didn't really talk about. Would you have traded Duran for Joe Ryan?
It's tricky. It's tricky because I don't think you. I would say.
I know it's a good question.
I know. I would say yes. My instinct is yes, but I get why they didn't want to upset the apple cart with this team. Like the chemistry, the clubhouse, that's a real thing. So I get that. That's why I keep saying, okay, so you don't get Joe Ryan. Pivot somewhere else before Thursday's trade deadline. Like, Go to the Diamondbacks 2 days before the deadline and say, "Is Merrill Kelly available?"
Yeah.
Like, what would it take? Whatever. If you're not going to, they were locked in on trying to get that guy. That I think it took a lot of other irons out of the fire, and I don't think it had to be that way.
That's fair.
So,
That's fair.
yeah.
So you would have traded Duran if it came down to that.
If it came down to it, I guess.
Okay.
But I don't know. That's tricky. I could see either way. I could see either way.
So right now, the Red Sox are second place in the division, first place in the wild card.
3 games out.
3 games out. Is it a division chase, or are you just good with the wild card?
If you're 3 games out,
Toronto's kind of
beginning
falling down.
August,
Yep.
Yeah, you're chasing the division, dude.
All right.
Again, why you need to add.
They don't need to. They're already winning.
Jeez.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
All right, so they got the Royals coming up. Speaking of royalty, Roadie football, top 10 in the preseason poll nationally.
Nice.
That is very impressive. Not surprised. Number 9 in the country for the reigning CAA champs. I mean, we've talked about it before. They're picked to win the league, but just for them to get that number next to their name to start the season, pretty cool.
They finished last season at 9. They start this season at 9. Obviously, a lot of great talent coming back.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you look offensively. You've got your quarterback in Farrell. You've got your top wide receiver in Buchanan. Even Greg Gaines coming back too. So it's basically your top 2. AJ Pena's preseason defensive player of the year in the CAA. Kid's a leader on the field. They get him back out of the transfer portal. Like, all the ingredients are there at the top of the roster for them to have another special season, you know, in the CAA, and I think even further, you know, making some noise here nationally.
I've said it before, I'll say it again. This year for Rhode Island, it's about being the hunted rather than the hunters.
Right.
They've already gone to the playoff. They've already won a game in the playoff. They've already won the league. Now it's everybody's gunning for you. How do you handle everybody's best shot? And I mean, they've played a ton of close games. Jim Fleming knows how to manage these things. I think their defense is going to be incredible. And if Farrell can get back into form that he was before he got hurt last year, I think they got a good shot.
They do. And I credit I say this every time I talk about Rhodey football, but like the patience they had to build up the program to where it's at right now, Thor Bjorn and Jim Fleming, like it's so impressive.
That's what Craig Breslow's trying to do. He's just trying to be patient with the guys that he has.
Yeah, well, Thor Bjorn can't make a trade deadline acquisition on October 31st to better his team.
That would be pretty cool.
Of course it would, but they can't do that in college football, so can't do that. But
that's fair.
yeah, they start off with Campbell, so they'll come, go right into the conference,
into the conference play.
Which is good. Exciting that it'll be on MeTV again this season on the home games, which is great.
It's on cable now,
and we are on cable now, MeTV. So it's our sub channel. So I think I'm not going to say the numbers.
Yeah,
look it up.
Check your local listings.
There's a beautiful promo right now with the beautiful John DeLuca on there. It says every channel, whatever. So it's right there. So watch it there. I love that they're going to be playing the Governor's Cup on a Friday night in Pawtucket.
Yeah, Centerville Bank Stadium. That's pretty cool. We
great.
haven't commented on that yet.
Yep.
We've been to the Centerville Bank Stadium many times, but it's going to be the first football game, and it's going to be the longest rivalry in the Ocean State, so that's going to be really cool to see.
It'll be great. It's great for both programs, no matter where they are or, the health of the whatever. They always play a good football game because it's a rivalry game. It is.
I saw TJ Linta here, actually. You remember TJ Linta?
Love TJ Linta.
Quarterback for the not the Browns. Brown football,
Bears,
the Brown Bears. Mm-hmm. The last time they beat URI on the east side, when they brought lights in, the first, they still don't have lights there.
No.
They had temporary lights. They brought in for a night game. I think it was a Friday night also. It might have been a Saturday. But it was like my first Brown football game I ever went to was the Governor's Cup. And TJ Linta, they won. It was a close one. And I just have TJ Linta on camera just going crazy. They went over. That was the famous clip that we have of your boy Phil Estes when they go over to ring the bell. He just, I'm standing up on some sort of platform. I think I'm up on like a rock, like a wall with the camera, and I got the bell in front of me, and I got Phil Estes, and he just goes, "Give me that effing hammer!" Bang! I thought the hammer was gonna break in half, but. Yeah, so
he's a beauty.
So long story short, the Governor's Cup is always a great time, and TJ Lint is an agent now. He represents a couple of guys out here, including Thurman Jones.
Truman Jones.
Excuse me. Nick Thurman was a defensive lineman back in the day. Truman Jones.
He's a Harvard guy.
Out of Harvard.
Have it.
TJ Linta is his agent, and he's got a couple of guys on the path. So anyway, long story short, speaking of Brown football.
Yeah, Harvard was picked to win the Ivy League this week in the preseason poll. Full disclosure, I had a vote, and I voted for Harvard to win the league. So
Harvard was here today, too?
They were. A lot of great returning players. And they shared the league title last year, so not too surprised. Should be competitive. Brown was picked 8th. Jake Wilcox, quarterback's gone. So they've lost some talent there. They still have some good young talent. Childs, their running back, I think he's going to be a guy that's going to be a factor in their offense the next few years. We'll see. Preseason polls are preseason polls. But the interesting thing about the Ivy League this year is that they are participating in the FCS playoffs for the first time. So, that's going to be decided some way, somehow, even if there is a, 3-way tie or whatever it is for the Ivy League title. Somebody's going to represent the league. So that's going to be really, really interesting to see. But yeah, that's a preseason poll.
I don't know the tiebreakers off the top of my head, but that would be crazy because so often there are shared titles in the Ivy League. I remember Dartmouth had a share, Harvard usually has a share.
Last year I think it was Harvard, Dartmouth, and Columbia.
Wow.
Yeah, which Coach John Poppy was a sensation last year in the league with Columbia. So it's a competitive league. It is, because new coaches come in, new players come in. It gets better every year. So. Should be fun.
What are your expectations for Brown football?
I figured that this year would be, a little bit tougher for them because, again, they lose some good talent. A 3-year starter quarterback goes, that's a tough thing to lose. We'll see, but I think there's young potential there. Like I said, I think a guy like Childs stood out right away. They always have good receivers that can step right in.
They can always score points.
Right.
They have a very creative offensive scheme, and they always have.
I think in the Ivy League, part of it comes down to defense and how the defense performs. So if you can stop teams, because there's a lot of scoring in the Ivy League, then that will help. So we'll see what happens this year, defensively.
Their stud corner transferred to Central Florida.
Yep. So... yeah, you lose some talent there, both sides of the ball. But we'll see. You never know. That's why they play the games, babe.
All right. Where'd you pick Brown?
I put them 6th.
Okay.
I put them 6th. I thought maybe the top 4 or 5.
Nick almost got hamstrung right there.
Yeah, baby. That's all right.
Smells great.
Seeing it? Oh, yeah. Chemicals.
Can't smell through the camera, but let me tell you.
Beautiful, baby. Just beautiful.
That's potent.
Stings the nostrils.
It's not manure. It's chemicals.
That's nice.
This guy's trying to give us our cue to wrap up. So,
I know.
Final thoughts, Nick?
He's got it. Okay, we're good. Wow, I got another whiff of that. This is good. Got another whiff of that.
He's doing a great. The fields do look great. He does a great job. The field crew here is unbelievable. It's all natural grass, so they have a lot to manage. But my God, I just got a whiff of that.
Me too. Me too. That's probably our cue.
I'm sure he does too.
Yeah, that's probably our cue. Thanks for joining us again. Ian-Steele, Nick-Coit. We'll continue to try to do this at least once a week here with the nameless ABC6 Sports podcast brought to you by ABC6 Sports. See ya.